Hi guys! Seeing as all your vlogs have been about how boring your weeks have been, and my week wasn't actually that boring, I thought it was kind of unfair for me to just ramble on about that, so I decided I'm going to read instead. QI Advanced Banter. In the beginning, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made politicians. Giving advice to a stupid man is like giving salt to a squirrel. America is a mistake. A giant mistake. There's nothing wrong with sobriety and moderation. Women like silent men. They think they're listening. You're not drunk if you can lie on the floor without having to hold on. Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep. Chaos is a new theory invented by scientists panicked by the thought people are beginning to understand the old ones. I'd hate to advocate drugs, alcohol, violence, insanity to anyone, but they've always worked for me. You can't leave footprints in the sands of time if you sat on your arse. Who wants to leave arse prints in the sands of time, eh? Beware of any enterprise that requires clothes. Golf is a good walk spoiled. Douglas Adams, mostly harmless. Life is like a grapefruit. How so? Asked the creature. Well, Ford replied, sort of orangey yellow, dimpled on the outside, wet and squidgy in the middle. It's got pips inside too. Oh, and some people have half of one for breakfast. Ford was completely at a loss for what to do next. Look, he said in a stern voice. But he wasn't certain how far out saying look in a stern voice was necessarily going to get him. Time was not on his side. What the hell, he thought. You're only young once. Threw himself out the window. At least keep the element of surprise on his side. Ford tumbled through the air in a cloud of glass and splinters and chair parts. Again, he really hadn't thought this through, really. I was just playing it by ear. Buying time. Times of major crisis, he found it was often quite helpful to have his life flash before his eyes. Gave him a chance to reflect on things. Give him some sort of perspective. And furnish him with vital clues of what to do next. There was a ground rushing up to meet him at 30 metres per second, but he would, he thought, deal with that problem when he got to it. First things first. The Bible. On the second day, Nathaniel's son Zuar, the leader of Iscar, brought his offering. His offering he brought was 100 silver plates, weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each filled with fine flour, mixed with oil, and grain offering. Thanks be to God. And Wired magazine. Random fact of the day. The average British child spends £372 on sweets annually. Bad times. Americans spend 511 billion hours watching TV per year. Special prize for anyone who can provide Wally in this picture. And also, I got a snow hoodie too. Not quite as cool as Lawrence though. Watch Project Grizzly, it's hilarious. In response to Alex's how do I cope with being 19, you have met me, right? I'm like 14 inside. That's not about to change. Guess what I did? I blued my vodka. Bad times. Good night, everybody.